A sudden retirement in Los Angeles has unexpectedly cracked open a trade door in Miami, and Tyreek Hill could be the one to walk through it. The NFL landscape was just jolted by the abrupt retirement of Los Angeles Chargers star receiver Mike Williams. For the Chargers, it's a devastating blow, leaving them dangerously thin at a critical position with a franchise quarterback to support. For the Miami Dolphins, it represents an unforeseen opportunity. While Miami isn't dealing with the shock of a retirement this year, they know the feeling, having seen it with players like Ricky Williams and Shaquille Barrett in the past. This time, however, they're on the other side of the equation, holding a potential solution to another team's crisis. The impact on the Chargers is immediate and severe. Their receiving core, already a question mark, now looks bleak. With the unproven Ladd McConkey entering his second year, and the journeyman Jalen Reagor as their most experienced option, the need for a legitimate number one target is glaring. This is where the speculation begins and why the Chargers make perfect sense as a landing spot for a player of Hill's caliber. They have two things that make a blockbuster trade possible: a desperate need and, crucially, plenty of salary cap space to absorb a large contract. From Miami's perspective, trading a superstar like Tyreek Hill seems unthinkable, but the logic is surprisingly sound. Hill has been the subject of trade speculation throughout the offseason, and there's a growing sense that the Dolphins are a team at a crossroads. While they have pieces to compete this year, many believe a larger rebuild is on the horizon. If that's the case, a 31-year-old receiver with a massive contract, like Hill, doesn't fit the long-term timeline. Cashing in on his value now to acquire draft capital and financial flexibility could be a shrewd, forward-thinking move. To be clear, there are no active rumors that the Chargers have called Miami about Hill. Williams' announcement is brand new, but in the NFL, front offices connect these dots quickly. If the Dolphins season stumbles out of the gate and it becomes clear they aren't Super Bowl contenders, a player like Hill instantly becomes their most valuable and most expendable trade asset. A desperate team with cap space, like the Chargers, would be the first to make the call. So what do you think? Should the Dolphins entertain offers for their biggest star to accelerate potential rebuild, or is trading Hill simply off the table? Let us know your thoughts below. This is the brutal, interconnected reality of the NFL. One player's personal decision in Los Angeles can create a franchise-altering dilemma in Miami. The trade window for Tyreek Hill isn't officially open, but a door has certainly been unlocked. In a stunning blockbuster trade that redraws the landscape of the AFC, the Miami Dolphins are sending all-pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey to the Pittsburgh Steelers, bringing a familiar, elite talent back to South Florida in the process. The full deal sees Miami trade Ramsey, Pro Bowl tight end Jonnu Smith, and a 2027 seventh-round pick to Pittsburgh in exchange for all-pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. The move was first broken by Ramsey himself in a post on his X account, confirming a split that had been developing for weeks. Earlier this year, both Ramsey and the Dolphins mutually agreed to part ways. While no official reason was given for the separation, General Manager Chris Greer clarified that Ramsey had not demanded a trade or more money, but that after extensive talks, both sides felt it was best to move on. This trade marks the definitive end of Ramsey's 2-year tenure in Miami. The centerpiece of the return for Miami is the homecoming of Minkah Fitzpatrick. The Dolphins originally drafted Fitzpatrick 11th overall in 2018, but his first stint was short-lived. Unhappy with his role in the defense at the time, he requested a trade and was sent to the Steelers in 2019, where he blossomed into one of the league's premier safeties. Now, he returns to the team that drafted him, a full-circle moment for both the player and the franchise. Also departing Miami is Jonnu Smith, who is coming off a career-best season where he posted 884 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns. Smith had hoped his performance would lead to a pay raise to stay in Miami, but instead, he's being rerouted to Pittsburgh. This trade is a massive strategic pivot for both organizations. For the Steelers, it's an aggressive, all-in move. They acquire a true lockdown cornerback in Ramsey to anchor their secondary and reunite Jonnu Smith with offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, who coached him in both Tennessee and Atlanta. As part of the deal, Smith has already agreed to a 1-year, $12 million contract extension, solidifying a key offensive weapon for Pittsburgh. For Miami, they resolve the Ramsey situation and reacquire an elite, ball-hawking safety to command the back end of their defense, fundamentally changing the defensive identity. Looking ahead, the implications are enormous. The Steelers have clearly signaled they are in win-now mode, adding 2 high-impact starters to push for a Super Bowl. The combination of Ramsey on the outside and Pittsburgh's ferocious pass rush could become a nightmare for opposing offenses. For the Dolphins, the question becomes how they will deploy Fitzpatrick in his second go-around and who will step up to fill the offensive void left by Jonnu Smith. They've swapped one All-Pro for another, betting that this new configuration is the key to unlocking their potential. This is a seismic shift for 2 AFC contenders, with legacies and millions of dollars changing hands. Who do you believe got the better end of this blockbuster deal? Let us know your opinion in the comments below. One trade has created a homecoming in Miami and a powerful new arsenal in Pittsburgh. It's a bold gamble on both sides, and the results will undoubtedly shape the race for the AFC Championship for years to come.